Today we're back and talking about security that ruins productivity. Yes, I made a number of videos about it, and I think there'll be plenty more because the IT departments keep providing more and more content for me. So let's continue our conversation. Have you noticed how IT departments can come up with craziest policy, like the craziest rules, say anything they want, and as long as they add words at the end for security, it's all justified. No one can say anything. No one can argue with them. Even like the biggest boss in the company is not going to go against it, because nobody wants to put their butt on the line. Let's say IT comes up with the craziest thing that totally destroys productivity. It makes it really difficult for people to do their work. And the big boss is going to say, oh no, we can't have that because, we got to be able to get things done. Well, if there is a security vulnerability happens or some kind of problem happens, IT is going to say, well, that guy told us not to do it, so it's on him. So no one wants to be in the position to say, well, I told IT not to do certain security feature, and then they're going to be responsible for it. So this is how IT department's able to get away with coming up with all kinds of crazy things. Just add the words, well, it's for security, and everyone just has to go along with them. Now, the other thing that's really interesting is how IT chooses where to implement security features and updates and where not to. And what they always do is they implement them in more publicly visible areas, right? Changing passwords, create dual-factor authentications, things like that everyone sees, so everyone can go like, oh yeah, they work and they doing things, look at all the things they've done so to keep us safe and this and that. But no one actually cares about things that people don't see, like different updates and patches and things like that. So example of that would be Windows updates. I've seen way too many servers where Windows updates are not installed. But the more critical thing, I would say, is relativity. So relativity 10.3. I talked to a number of people who run relativity 10.3, which has been out for, I believe, about 2 years. And I asked them about, have you installed updates since you installed 10.3? And they go, updates? What updates? And so I explained it. There are feature updates, there are major bug fixes to how certain things work, and there are security updates. And people are completely like surprised. Oh, there are? Our IT department never installed any of that. And that's because no one wants to go in and install these updates and mess around with relativity, because one is they're not visible, right? No one knows you install updates. It's not like a glorious thing you could do, but it's also a bit of a pain in the butt, because when you do these relativity updates, they're a bit complicated, and if you break something, then you gotta call support, and now you're person who brought down relativity, so you're no longer a hero. But the point is, there are people, the security-oriented people and companies that still run in relativity 10.3 without any updates installed for 2 years, even though there are security patches and vulnerability updates that have been released. All right, now that I got that out of my system, let's talk about our list of different things that IT department has disabled or not allowing people to do, and they really should allow them to do that because it definitely messes with productivity. And the first item on today's list is disabling links to OneDrive and Dropbox. Now, it's kind of normal in Lit support to share documents using one of those services. No, it's not the best way of doing it, but people still do it. Sometimes you do need to send a file from maybe an end user computer or some other way. Or I sometimes send files to people that way. And some companies, people are just not able to open them. They click on the link and it says it's disabled. And so what has to happen is, it's not that IT has prevented file reaching their network. Now what we have to do is find a workaround to get the same file into their network. So all it does, it just wastes time. Now I kind of understand why they do it, is because somebody could send a file with a virus using that system, but so what? It's about user being educated and knowing what they download. It's not just restricting them from downloading a file. There are always ways to find around that block. And that's basically what I have to do with people I send files to. And the next thing I was really surprised by is I was talking to a person and they said, oh, I can't open PST file. We're not allowed to open PST files. I'm like, what? Aren't you in Lit support? Like, yeah, Don't we deal with PST's files all the time? It's like, yeah, we do, but there is no way for us to open it. We have to load it into processing software and look at it there. I'm like, well, what if there is an error or you need to check something to make sure it comes out good, the dates are right? It's like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. We're not allowed to open PST files. And to me, it's really stupid. You know, you still have the same native file in your processing software. So if there is a virus, you can get infected that way. There is absolutely no reason not to allow people to open PST files and examine them. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for this video. If you have any more ideas how security ruins productivity, please put it in the comment section below and I'll use it as a topic for next video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube. I'll see you next time.